Good evening. This is Akashvani. I'm Anuja Kumar with the World News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds delegation-level talks with Bhutan King in Thimphu. Inaugurates Punatsangchhu-II Hydroelectric project. President Droupadi Murmu reaches Botswana after concluding a successful visit to Angola. In Pakistan, at least 12 people killed in a suicide blast outside Islamabad court. Taiwan evacuates 3,000 people as Typhoon Fung-wong approaches. And in Women's T20 World Cup Cricket for the blind, India beat Sri Lanka by 10 wickets in opening match in New Delhi. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talks with Bhutan King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk in Thimphu today. During the meetings, they discussed cooperation in various sectors including energy, capacity building, connectivity, technology, defence and security. After the talks, the two leaders jointly inaugurated the Punatsangchhu-II Hydroelectric project developed jointly by India and Bhutan. Mr. Modi reached Bhutan's capital this morning on a two-day visit to the Himalayan nation. Earlier in the day, Mr. Modi addressed an event to mark the 70th birth anniversary of Bhutan's former king, Jigme Singye Wangchuk. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister unveiled plans to construct an integrated immigration checkpoint near Bhutan's border town of Gyalefou to facilitate the smooth movement of visitors and investors between the two countries. Mr. Modi said that India and Bhutan are connected not just by borders but also by cultures, as he called for increasing connectivity between the two neighbours.
भारत और भूटान की कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ाने पर भी हमारा फोकस है। हम सभी जानते हैं कनेक्टिविटी क्रिएट्स अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी क्रिएट्स प्रॉस्पेरिटी। इसी लक्ष्य के साथ आने वाले समय में गैलेफू और सामत से शहरों को भारत के विशाल रेल नेटवर्क से जोड़ने का फैसला लिया गया है। इस प्रोजेक्ट के पूरा होने से यहाँ की इंडस्ट्री का, भूटान के किसानों का भारत के विशाल मार्केट तक एक्सेस और आसान हो जाएगा.
The Prime Minister said the energy partnership between the two countries is further accelerating.
आज भूटान में 1000 मेगावाट से अधिक का एक नया हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, जिससे भूटान की हाइड्रो पावर कैपेसिटी में 40% की बढ़ोतरी हुई है. इतना ही नहीं, लंबे समय से रुके हुए एक और हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट पर भी फिर से काम शुरू होने जा रहा है. और ये हमारी पार्टनरशिप सिर्फ हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक तक सीमित नहीं है. अब हम सोलर एनर्जी में भी एक साथ बड़े कदम उठा रहे हैं. आज इससे जुड़ी अहम समझौते भी हुए हैं.
Later, briefing the media in Thimphu, India's ambassador to Bhutan, Sandeep Arya, said during his meeting with Bhutan's king, Prime Minister Modi today underlined the relationship between two countries as one rooted in values of emotions, peace and progress. He said that the two countries signed and exchanged an MOU on cooperation in the field of renewable energy. India also extended a line of credit of 4,000 crore rupees to Bhutan.
Biomass energy, green hydrogen and energy storage in general. So which I think is a very good beginning. It's a very substantive memorandum of understanding in which two countries will look at joint design and development of energy projects in all of these areas. At the same meeting there was an announcement of line of credit of Indian rupees 4,040 billion which has been kind of extended.
President Droupadi Murmu reached Botswana this evening after concluding a successful visit to Angola. During her three-day visit, the President will hold bilateral talks with her Botswana counterpart, President Duma Boko, on a range of issues. Botswana have also indicated their readiness to collaborate with India on translocation of cheetahs to India. Before wrapping up her visit to Angola's capital Luanda, the President attended the celebration of the 50th Independence Day anniversary of Angola today. This was the first visit by an Indian head of the state to the West African nation. Our correspondent reports that the President's visit led to some important outcomes.
Angola has agreed to join the International Big Cat Alliance (IBCA) and Global Biofuels Alliance (GBA). Both these initiatives are spearheaded by India. IBCA focuses on conserving 7 big cat species and their habitats. GBA was established during India's G20 presidency and aims to accelerate the adoption of sustainable biofuels. The two countries concluded discussions on an air service agreement enabling the possibility of direct flights in the future that will boost businesses and people-to-people ties. Two MOUs were also signed. One relates to cooperation in sustainable fisheries and aquaculture and sharing of best practices in marine resources. Another agreement allows dependent family members of diplomatic staff to engage in gainful employment. Manish Shiva, Akashvani News, Angola.
This is Akashvani giving you the world news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. In Pakistan, at least 12 people were killed and 21 others reportedly injured in a suicide blast outside a court building in Islamabad today. According to the local police, the blast took place in a car parked outside the court. Pakistan has been facing security issues, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan provinces over the past few years. Taliban Deputy Foreign Minister Mohammad Naeem has blamed Pakistan's unrealistic demands and lack of coordination for the failure of talks between the two nations. Afghanistan's leading news agency, Khama Press, reported that minister stated that there was no outcome from the negotiations due to Pakistani side's irresponsible and uncooperative behavior. He said that certain factions of Pakistan's military did not attend to resolve issues through dialogue. The third round of talks between Pakistan and Afghanistan in Istanbul ended without any outcome. The failure of talks between delegations of Pakistan and Afghanistan has further escalated tensions between the two nations. India has urged the United Nations Security Council to adopt a zero-tolerance policy towards those who fund or facilitate the movement of illicit weapons used in terrorism. Speaking at a UN debate on small arms, India's permanent representative, Ambassador Parvataneni Harish, in a veiled reference to Pakistan, warned that the diversion of small arms to non-state actors and terrorist groups poses a serious global threat that must be addressed collectively.
India has fought the scourge of terrorism for several decades and is therefore aware of the dangers posed by the diversion and illicit transfer of small arms and ammunition to armed non-state actors and terrorist groups. India has suffered due to cross-border terrorism carried out using illicit weapons trafficked across our borders, including now through the use of drones. The increase in the volume and sophistication of such arsenals reminds us that these groups cannot sustain themselves without being enabled, financed, or supported.
Taiwan evacuated more than 3,000 people today, issuing a land warning for the arrival of Typhoon Fung-wong. Typhoon Fung-wong is expected to dump large volumes of rain on Taiwan's mountainous east coast, recently lashed by another typhoon. The weakening Fung-wong is forecast to hit the land tomorrow on the island's southwestern coast around the major port of Kaohsiung, after it killed 18 people while powering through the Philippines as a much stronger system. India started their campaign on a winning note in the first ever Women's T20 World Cup Cricket for the blind. The hosts defeated Sri Lanka by 10 wickets in the opening match in New Delhi. Winning the toss and opting to bat first, Sri Lanka was restricted to just 41 runs in 13.3 overs. In reply, India chased down the modest target comfortably, reaching 43 without loss in just 3 overs. And now, before we close, here are the highlights of the bulletin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds delegation-level talks with Bhutan King in Thimphu, inaugurates Punatsangchhu-II Hydroelectric project. President Droupadi Murmu reaches Botswana after concluding a successful visit to Angola. In Pakistan, at least 12 people killed in a suicide blast outside Islamabad court. Taiwan evacuates 3,000 people as Typhoon Fung-wong approaches. And in Women's T20 World Cup Cricket for the blind, India beat Sri Lanka by 10 wickets in opening match in New Delhi. That concludes tonight's World News. For more updates, stay tuned to Akashvani. Good night.